Hi, this is Sanjeev Adhikari. I'm here today regarding the presentation on topic explain the current state of the cruise industry. What is the industry's outlook over the next 3 to 5 years, and how will this impact on its stakeholders? And will the cruise industry survive? This presentation is presented by Kushum Gurung and me, Sanjeev Adhikari. Okay, then let's start with the presentation. Introduction. This presentation is a clear overview on the current and future states of the cruise industry. The key issues faced by this particular industry are highlighted here. The outlook of the industry in the next 3 to 5 years states the future plans of the industry with consideration of its impact on stakeholders. This information can clearly highlight the survival factors of the cruise industry and it's mentioned in the presentation. The current state of the cruise industry. The cruises operate from the Mediterranean Sea to the Pacific Ocean to survive their hospitality to the people from the whole world. The current state of the industry states that the revenue has been raised to 27 billion US dollar. The revenue of the industry was affected during the pandemic situation as traveling was restricted. It has been reported that the revenue of the cruise industry was 4 times higher prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. There was a decline in the annual revenue of about 12 billion US dollar. The maximum booking and workings of the travel and hospitality industry has been transformed to digital platforms. Although there is a huge sales observed on the platform, observed on the online platform, offline sales dominated. Only one quarter of the revenue of the cruise industry is reported to be received from the online sales. There are certain challenges faced by the industry in its operation, which includes extreme weather, terrorism, and geopolitical issues. The current situation states that frequent occurrence of cyclones sub the industry to face a certain amount of losses. Another major challenge faced is lack of new people in the industry, as it is difficult for the industry to attract the young generation to be enthusiastic to stand out from the crowd. The outlook of the industry in next 3 to 5 years. There's a chart where you can see the outlook of the industry shown from like 2023 to 2027. Although there was a decline in the sale of the industry during the pandemic, but the post-pandemic period is the most important time span for the industry. Post-lockdown period is going to be it's going to allow the people to be eager about traveling and the sales can increase in the future. It has been reported that there is a huge surge in the bookings of 2022 and 2023. For example, there was uh, there was there was a sold out of the Oceania's World Cruise within one day of the opening of the booking in January 2021. Therefore, there is going to be an evolution in the annual revenue rates of the industry in the next 3 to 5 years. The outlook of the cruise industry in the next 3 to 5 years is to improve their operation with respect to all the sectors, which is stated clearly in the table above. The outlook of the cruise industry also includes the safety protocols of the ships to avoid any contamination. The pandemic situation has hit the industry hard with respect to sales and revenue in the previous year. The situation can be repeated again in the future years. Therefore, the vaccination proof is mandatory in the cruise, which includes vaccine passports. Another most important requirement being added in the future year is the COVID testing of the passengers in the cruise before returning them to their own countries. The impact of the outlook on stakeholders. The pandemic situation has impacted the stakeholders of the cruise industry as there was lack of opportunities. There was downfall in the sales and thus the relationship between the stakeholder and the cruise companies was impacted. The outlooks of the industry for the upcoming years stated above require the review of the stakeholders and also their equity needs to be planned. As there was a loss faced during during 2020, there was an increased demand in the equity by the stakeholders. The stakeholders of the cruise industry needs to be managed and engaged effectively by the application of relevant stakeholder theories. The five-stage stakeholder engagement theory is an appropriate theory to manage the stakeholders. The theory includes identification, analysis, consultation, feedback, and consolidation. Survival of the industry. The cruise industry is going to survive effectively in the future years. The operation needs to be evolved and improved in this period to attract more passengers. The outlooks of the industry, including the safety protocols and health measures, can keep it safe from any downfall. the revenue is going to increase. For example, in late 2021 and 2022, there was a 425% increase in year booking in Uniworld cruise operators. Now, finally, the conclusion part. Cruises make up a huge part of the travel and hospitality industry, and it operates a large part of the world as well. Prospects for the next 3 to 5 years are mentioned with health protocols like vaccination passports. The stakeholders can be managed by five stages. Stakeholders theory. And the last slide I have got is the references from which I took the ideas and I had done my research. Thank you so much.